Okay, so here we are. I'm going to set the scene. I just found out that my husband has been unfaithful to me, and his mother was due to come into town to visit him for his birthday 12 hours after I found out. Now, he asked me to be chill during the time that his mother was around and not say anything, and I said, oh no, I will be telling your mother absolutely everything. Here's how it went. So honestly, I thought when I gave him a heads up that I would be telling his mother everything, that he would try to beat me to the punch. He's got a long drive home from the airport to our house. So knowing that I was going to tell his mom, I kind of just assumed that he would tell her on the trip home. Well, that didn't happen. So her and I had been planning this nice dinner that we were going to celebrate his birthday, and we were all going to go, and her and I were planning it on where we were going to go. It was going to be my soon-to-be ex-husband, myself, my son, and her, and we were going to go out to dinner. So she finally gets into the house, and this dinner is supposed to happen, right? And I tell her, I say, hey, I'm going to send you and him to celebrate the birthday on your own. And she goes, why? What do you mean? Like, she was shocked, right? And I just looked over at him, and I said, oh, you didn't tell her, did you? She looks at him. He looks at me. I look at her. She looks at me. What's going on? She makes a connection. Something's not right. And I say, okay. Well, we should probably talk. And he goes, I don't really think now is the time. Like, this is not a great time. And I said, okay, we can talk later. And then for the whole rest of the weekend, I hung out with my son, my happy place, the entire weekend. And I let them go off and do what they were going to do and have mother-son time. Now, backwards a little bit. When I first found out about my husband's infidelity, the first person I called was my sister-in-law because she's like my best friend and I tell her everything. So I called her. She's pissed for me, okay? I was a little nervous to tell his family because I didn't want to feel like they would pressure me to stay and make it work with him. Well, they didn't do that. She very much had my back and she said, absolutely not. Get the heck out of there. He doesn't deserve you. And you should tell my mother everything and you should tell her when he's around and embarrass him. And I'm like, that sounds good. I'm gonna do that. I had one opportunity to talk to this woman and it was really just because she was busy with him all weekend and I was working all weekend and with my son. So I had one opportunity the morning that she was going to leave. We sat in the kitchen and grabbed a cup of coffee and I looked at her and I said, okay, are you ready to hear what's going on? And she kind of paused and she goes, yep. So I unload. I tell her everything. I leave nothing behind, no details. Even about the corn, I tell her everything. And she just sits there and listens. And let me just say, like, this woman is so kind. She's so kind and so sweet. She would never hurt a fly. So it was hard to tell her because I know that she loves her son and she worries about him. And I think, like, ultimately, the way that I felt in this conversation was that she was worried for her son based on how he was acting. Did I feel like I had her support? No. Honestly, if I'm being frank, I don't really feel like she was thinking about what I had gone through. I think she was thinking about her son, which is fine. Like, that's your son. I get it. But she kind of said something really interesting to me that I kind of like, I don't know, like didn't really like. Now let's take a step back and talk about my son really quick. I have an 11-year-old son. He is not the son of my soon-to-be ex-husband. I have a baby daddy. We were never married, but my soon-to-be ex-husband and I met when my son was a year old. He has been around for my son's entire life. He has seen first words, first steps, all of the things, but unfortunately never showed up as a stepdad. He told me a little bit ago that he didn't love my son. He just never was what my son needed. And so while I've been married and with this man for 10 years, I have been a single mom. My soon-to-be ex-husband does not help me with parenting at all. Like, I have parented that child by myself, and he's my son, so that is my responsibility. But my son comes above everything. My son comes before my soon-to-be ex-husband. He has always been at the forefront and the whole priority of my entire life. I take parenting him very seriously. And my soon-to-be ex-husband does not like that my son comes before him. Listen, I know this video is getting really long. I'm almost there. So the way that I felt when I told my mother-in-law about all of this is that I almost felt a little bit of like she was putting some blame on me for the reason that we've been in such a bad place. I was talking to her about the issues that my soon-to-be ex-husband was having with my son, that he told me that he didn't love him and that he resents him, and that's just for a whole nother story. Sir, you are an adult. I am not responsible for raising you anymore. That actually was my mother-in-law's job. But I take being a mother very seriously. And my son is my priority number one always, and that will never change. So when she came in and made me feel like she was questioning of whether or not I should be putting my 11-year-old son over her 33-year-old son, it just didn't feel great to me. And that's what happened. Do I need to probably have a conversation with her about how that made me feel? Yeah, but ultimately, it is what it is. We are divorcing, we are separating, and my son is still going to be at the forefront, number one of my life, everywhere, all the time, every single day, and that's how I'm choosing to parent him.